It's time now for a segment that only half the staff likes. It's must-win weekend.
What's the half?
I think 1/4.
Me and a few other people like it. Again, it's not must-win because these teams would be mathematically eliminated if they lost. We get it. Everyone's alive. There's a lot of football to play. It's just a feeling. It's just a sense. The only way I can describe it is like, must win. Okay, starting off. First up, let's go across the pond. Oh, Jacksonville 1-2 on the year. Plays the Falcons. Trevor Lawrence in front of his constituents in jolly old London town. So, Nick, we'll start with you for this hot segment because I know you love it. Must win?
No.
What?
It's not a must win. Now, by Brew's reaction, it sounds like he thinks it is, which means if the Jags lose, Brew will have set a record by abandoning 2 of his playoff teams before we hit October.
No.
Even I didn't see that coming. Listen, I believe the Jags will win. However, you guys also know I think the Falcons are a good team with massive question at quarterback. The quarterback plays well. They can beat anyone. We've seen the Jaguars overcome far worse than a 1-3 start, and I am a little anxious about Trevor having to get hundreds of tickets for all his family in London and whether or not that's going to be a distraction for him. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say no. It's not a must-win.
You clearly weren't listening to Wilds in the intro. It's not about, if they lose, they're out. They're not going to make the playoffs. Nothing to do with that. It's spiritual, psychological. What would a loss do to them? This would be their 3rd straight loss. They just lost to the hapless Houston Texans, who, they're playing a little bit better football. But still, you're supposed to be a playoff team. You're supposed to be a contender for the AFC Championship game, and you're losing 3 straight games?
They did it last year.
But they weren't a contender.
They were in the final 8.
Nobody believed in them. They got to win this game.
Correct.
Yeah, to me, this is not Jacksonville. This is about Atlanta. Like, Desmond Ritter's got to play better. He's just got to play better. He's got to. You got Bijan Robinson, you got Kyle Pitts, you got Drake London, and since we're going with feeling, you got a guy named London, you're playing in London. Atlanta's got the edge. That's
what
it.
I like. I know you did those tape breakdowns.
Yeah,
that's what
forget
I like.
it. London.
Boom. That's what I like. Head to Chicago.
They got to win.
In what some have called the Caleb Williams Bowl. Battle of 2 winless teams. Broncos actually favored in this one. Justin Fields, meanwhile, looking to get back on track. Otherwise, he's just out here looking like Trevor Lawrence, in the draft class. Nick, the rare, and this is what must-win fans live for. The rare double must-win.
It is actually a double must-lose. Sean Payton and Eberflus should come to midfield before the game, shake hands, and then just kneel it out for 3 hours. Give them both the chance. Listen, Caleb's the only path forward for both of these teams. I told you the Bears' path forward. Draft Caleb with the number 1 overall pick after you lose this game. You have the reverse tiebreaker with Denver, which you could use. Draft Marvin Harrison Jr. with the pick you're going to get from Carolina. Take Ben Johnson as innovative play calling from divisional rival Detroit. We saw it last night. In the offseason, you're good to go. Denver, on the other hand, they guarantee another $37 million of Russell Wilson's money on the 5th day of the offseason. So they need to know that they can cut him. You split up the $85 million in dead money over 2 years. You take your medicine. Well, you got to do it. You got to do it, or else you guarantee another 40 to him, and you draft Caleb Williams. They both need to lose. It's a double must lose.
Wow.
I got to be honest, Rod. I don't think Nick gets the spirit of the game.
I hate the game.
This is a must-win for the Denver Broncos.
There we go.
Not for Chicago. They're horrible. We know that. And they might get Caleb. Denver, Sean Payton's running his mouth about that was the worst coaching job ever last year. And if they lose to a Bears team that's lost 13 straight games, coming off a 50-point loss where you gave up 70, you could argue that when your defense goes from top 10 to last, that this is the worst coaching job in league history through 4 games. Sean Payton absolutely, positively has to win this game.
I don't know what's worse, giving up 70 or losing 13 in a row. But I'm going to go with 13 in a row. Chicago, this is a must-win.
Must-win for them.
I mean, it's turmoil. People are breaking into the stadium. They got to win.
Yeah.
They got to win.
The must-win Reddit is on fire right now.
Got
the double must-win. Meanwhile, the winless Vikings in Carolina.
Set on this one.
Come on, Minnesota. Some smart people have you going to the Super Bowl. Justin Jefferson, fan of the show. Take a listen.
Is he?
Here's something familiar. That's what I've been screaming.
That's good.
That's what I've been saying.
Good analysis.
He loves the show. Shout out to you, Justin. We're going to send you some. You know, I sent Justin Jefferson a First Things First mug.
Is this about the Vikings being a must-win?
Must win?
Wilds.
Yeah.
Were they on must-win weekend last week?
Yes, they were. It was a double must-win, remember?
Did they lose?
Here's the thing.
Did they
double
lose?
must-win.
Did they lose?
He won't engage the game.
Yeah, they lost.
Wilds, what's your big thing about a Super Bowl or bust? There is no bust,
that's
right?
not must-win.
That's what you're like, how is it a bust if there is no bust?
So are they supposed to get kicked out of the league?
No, but
if
they're
they don't
kicked out of
win?
this stupid segment.
Get it. Must-win.
They lost their must-win.
I know. So now the stakes
Now
are
it's
getting high.
Now it's really a
triple
must-win.
Must-win square.
Wow.
Just move on.
Anything I'll answer
quickly.
since
You gotta move on.
Nick
Must-win in
won't
caps.
play fair. It's absolutely a must-win.
Thank you. He gets it.
It was a must-win last week.
All right,
It's a
we gotta go.
must-win
Coach,
this
we got to
week.
go to Colorado.
No worries.
That was a must-win, obviously. Finally, USC in Colorado. Caleb Williams, 15 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Barely plays all the games because they're up ahead by so much. Looking to go back-to-back Heismans. Just saw Oregon roll the Buffaloes. So USC. Now listen. Must win by a lot.
This is actually a must-win for USC.
By a lot.
Don't care about that part of it.
Really?
It's
No,
a must.
I care.
It's a must. No,
They got
USC has 4 games left against teams ranked in the top 11. At Notre Dame, home for Utah, who beat them twice last year. Home for Washington, at Oregon. Caleb's trying to do the impossible. Win his second straight Heisman, and USC is trying to do the impossible, win the national championship without fielding a defense. That is going. The only way to do it is if they put it on Colorado. So yes, this actually, Wilds, is a must-win.
Yeah, you got it.
But it's a must-win by a lot.
It's a must score 60. I don't care if it's 60
And give
or
up 50?
Yeah,
No.
they're going to do
Oregon just stomped Colorado. Okay, Oregon's number 9, USC's number 8. USC dropped 3. Yeah, it does. If you're trying to get to the playoffs,
they're gonna play
that's what they're
Oregon.
trying to do.
They just gotta
They
beat
just
Oregon.
dropped 3 slots because they were unimpressive in a victory over Arizona State. They need to be impressive.
Yeah.
Coach said it yesterday, style points matter in college football.
Yeah, I'm with you. You got a 100-year streak you're defending. You need style points like Mahomes Mountain. It's all make-believe. So you got to win big and hope it affects the
If
voters.
they win by a point, as long as they beat Oregon, it doesn't matter.
That does make sense.
Of course,
No,
it makes
but
sense.
there are other games that'll come into play.
All they have to
Obviously,
do
they'll have
is
a chance
win.
to play Oregon.
That's must
But
win.
that doesn't mean they'll get into the
is
Coming
playoffs.
up, Upseller.
We used to be a
Great
serious show.
segment, Wild.
You did great.
That's the best.
Segment is.
Best segment of the week.
Must win. That's a fantastic segment. The franchise, actually.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.